Hello guys, and welcome to Trans 101, a series where I give information and advice to trans people. So I've been trying to do these videos in somewhat chronological order of what I think trans people go through. So we've had just defining terms, then we've had working out if you're trans, then coming out. So now today I'm going to be talking about picking your name and your pronouns. But before we get started on the advice on how to choose new names and pronouns, there's a couple of things I would like to say. Firstly, you don't need to change your name or your pronouns if you don't want to. A lot of trans people do this, so I think a lot of the time other people feel that they have to do this. But if you have no issues with your name or your pronouns, if it's not causing you dysphoria in any way, you don't have to change it. It's totally fine. If you're, for example, non-binary, but you feel totally comfortable still going by binary pronouns like he or she, that's cool. If you have a name that maybe doesn't quite fit with the gender that you feel, but at the same time it has sentimental value to you, you're named after a family member, or like whatever reason, you also don't have to change your pronouns. Language is fake anyway. A lot of the time people conflate pronouns with gender, so it's like if you go by he, you're a boy, if you go by she, you're a girl, if you go by they, you're neither, which isn't always true. There's plenty of non-binary people out there who go by he or she pronouns. There's plenty of people who go by they who maybe don't feel non-binary specifically. Like, gender is fake, language is fake, nothing is real in this world. Another thing I would say is that you can change your pronouns or your name when you feel like it. I did this, I went by they them for a really long time, and then after a couple years told my friends I would actually rather go by he him. You don't have to be absolutely certain of the name or the pronoun that you're going to go with for the rest of your life before you tell anyone. A lot of the time it's actually helpful to try out multiple with people, so don't be afraid to be not 100% certain of something before you tell someone else. At the same time, I also would warn against changing your name or your pronouns constantly, because people can try their best to keep up, but you cannot expect them to always get it right, and that's also going to hurt you if people are constantly calling you by the wrong thing. So I would say don't be afraid if you think that it might change in the future, but at the same time don't constantly change it every couple months for the rest of your life, because people aren't really going to be able to keep up with that. Okay, so now that that's all done, here is my tips for how to actually choose a new name or a new set of pronouns if you've decided that's what you want to do. So as far as I'm concerned, choosing a new name and choosing pronouns is actually a very simple two-step plan, which is number one, educate yourself on what is available, and number two, try the possibilities out and see how they fit. So in terms of names, this means possibly shortlisting some, making a list of about 5 to 20 names, I think, is a good range that you think you would like to go by. In order to pick these names, you can first of all think about the kind of gender connotations you want. I, for example, very much wanted a neutral or masculine name when I was looking at mine. Didn't want a feminine one, but I was okay with one that was maybe slightly androgynous. I also looked at names of fictional characters who I was like, whoa, that's a cool name, and names of maybe characters I created when I was a kid, and how I would always come back to the same couple of names whenever I was creating a guy character. I had like a list of them that I picked, and like now that I look back, it was obviously me trying them out for myself, but you know, it's totally okay to name yourself after a celebrity or a fictional character or someone in your life you admire, because cis people do that all the time, so you know. You can also just go onto baby name websites and scroll through them and see if there's anything that you like there. They often divide up by culture as well, so if you want to find one that's like specific to your culture, that would be cool. Did you hear that loud door slamming? So once you've got your shortlist, try some of them out, see how they feel. How do you try out a name, you ask? Well, something that I did is I went on Omegle. I've mentioned this in my How to Know If You're Trans video, where I would introduce myself under different names and see which ones kind of felt good to me. I think I have mentioned before that I was very almost called Matt, because I would go and I would try the name Matt. I also tried out Fletcher, I tried out Emmett, I think, and then I would like see where it was how it was feeling. Also, I have already mentioned me and my friends would write stories about each other, and a friend wrote a story about me using Fletcher, and I was like, whoa, this is great. And also something I would say is talk to people, consult some of your friends or people close to you about which name out of your chosen shortlist they think you would like, because I didn't consult anyone on my name because I hadn't come out to anyone and I wanted to pick it before I told anyone, which I actually do kind of regret. I regret not talking to my parents about it. I am happy about the name that I ended up with, but I do wish that I'd given them a bit of a say, because I feel like they might feel a little bit put out by the fact I didn't ask them. So once you've tried out the ones that you like and see which one feels best, and you've talked to your friends and family and gotten their votes on it, then you just get to pick one. It's fun. Also, another point, middle names exist, which I know sounds silly, but people can forget. So if you can't pick between 2 or even 3 names, middle names exist. Now in terms of pronouns, it's a little bit different. When it comes to step 1 of pronouns, which is educating yourself on the possibilities, that really just means doing research, because like I said, a lot of the time it's thought of as just being he, she, or they, but there are so many more pronouns out there, so go and look at them all. I can't remember any of them at the particular moment though.
Wake me up! Wake me up inside! I can't wake up! Wake me up inside!
So yeah, just do some research on pronouns and see if there's any that you really like, and make sure that you have all of them available to you. Do your research, because there's so many out there. There's so many, and you know what? What is to stop you from just inventing some? If you feel like none of them fit, make some. And then once you've found some pronouns that you think might work for you, it's time to try them out, which is a bit different to names. It's a bit harder to do this. There's a really good website, which I'll put in the description, that you can use to go and you enter your pronouns into a box and your name, and it will generate like sentences talking about you, and you can see how they fit, which is really good. And you can try on multiple things, different things, and see which one fits for you. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was slightly helpful. If any of you are thinking about changing your name or your pronouns, please share this if you found it helpful, or if you think other people might find it helpful. If you have any other questions or suggestions for other videos, please feel free to message me on Tumblr or Twitter, or put them down in the comments, or do anything like that. And if you think I've said anything wrong, or you would like to collaborate in a further video because you think you have a viewpoint that I am missing, also feel free to let me know and message me, and we can talk about that. Okay, thank you. I will see you at some point. Goodbye.